We all care about Canada, and that's why you need to hear this. Canada was built on grit and ambition, a country that has thrived not because it's easy, but because we make it work. But now, Canada stands at a defining moment. For years, we've been navigating through a growing storm of economic uncertainty, political division, and social instability. And now, the storm has hit full force. Our ex-closest ally, the biggest player in the game, has turned its back on us. And this isn't just about tariffs and trade, it's about dominance and control. It's about power. But what is power? It's not just the size of your economy or the strength of your military. It's not just about resources or territory. True power comes from people. And in Canada, the biggest source of people, and therefore the biggest source of potential power, has always been immigration. But immigration, our literal national lifeline, is a powerful but fragile tool. What can be our greatest strength can also become our most dangerous vulnerability. For decades, we mastered this balance. Canada became the envy of the world, a model of how a welcoming, compassionate nation could leverage immigration into becoming a powerhouse. But in recent years, we've loosened our grip and lost sight of the true potential of immigration. See, immigration is not about mere numbers. It's not about level plans. It's not about charts, graphs, and percentages. Immigration is about perspective. It's about vision. It's about the subtle art of aligning interests, creating mutual benefit, and forging a foundation strong enough to sustain a nation. Seneca was absolutely right. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Without vision, immigration policy becomes reactionary instead of strategic. And when that happens, it breeds chaos. One day, we celebrate breaking record levels. The next, we slash the very levels by 30%. One day, job market compatibility is essential. The next, we eliminate points for job offers. One day, the startup visa is Canada's flagship for innovation. The next, it's cut by 83%. One day, international students are the future of our workforce. The next, we're wondering why they're not even showing up to class. This isn't immigration as Canadians envisioned it. This is immigration as a political tool, turned on and off and redirected for political convenience. But despite these shortcomings, immigration remains our most powerful tool for rebuilding the economy and securing our future. A few key corrections, a few strategic fixes, and we don't just fix the system, we change the game. A shift toward an immigration system that elevates our standard of living instead of masking economic failures by inflating GDP. Because it's not about how big the cake is, it's about how big a slice each Canadian gets. And that is not a numbers game. For that, we need innovation, capital, high-level skills, entrepreneurship, and a fundamentally different mindset about immigration. Now let's talk facts. Jobs don't create themselves, entrepreneurs create them. But here's what's happening in Canada. Canada's entrepreneurship rate has been cut in half over the last 20 years. A tsunami of baby boomer retirement is about to wipe out thousands of businesses. We are facing a brain drain. Our most talented and successful entrepreneurs are leaving, taking their businesses, ideas, and innovation with them. And yet, instead of revitalizing this ecosystem, our immigration system actively works against it. Less than 0.2% of our economic immigration intake are entrepreneurs. The other 99.8%? They're selected to fill labor gaps and contribute to the tax base. But let's look at the reality. More than 50% of STEM-educated immigrants aren't working in STEM. More than 60% of healthcare-trained immigrants aren't working in healthcare. And the endemic wage gap tells the story of misguided selection and suboptimal support. And here's another brutal fact. A bachelor's degree from U of D gets the same points as a college degree from a diploma mill. Imagine grinding through all-nighters, crushing tuition fees, years of sacrifice, only to be ranked the same as someone who practically bought their degree. How do you think that makes the top grad feel? Valued? Appreciated? Respected? No. It makes them leave. And where do they go? Straight into the arms of the competition. And what about that 0.2% of entrepreneurs? They're stuck waiting 40 months just to get through the process for a program designed to match the speed of global innovation. Instead of fueling their ideas, we stall them, bury them in red tape, treat them like a problem to be managed. Would you put up with that? Would you stay? And what about investment? Even worse. Canada has no federal investment immigration program, handing over a 12-figure market to competitors like US, Australia, UAE, Greece, and others. Why? Is it because we are anti-entrepreneurial? Anti-investment? Is it part of Canada's so-called go for bronze culture? Or is it because we can't get it right? Of course not. Entrepreneurship is at the heart of the Canadian dream, and we are certainly not lacking in talent, ambition, or wisdom. So what's wrong? It's isolation, the lack of communication and collaboration between the private sector and the government, the disconnect between citizens, businesses, and policymakers. We've allowed the system to drift into fragmentation. And that's exactly why we created Catalyst Canada, to fill the gap, to bring stakeholders and problem solvers from different sectors to the table, to have open, honest, and expert conversations about the solutions that can get us out of this mess. Because Catalyst Canada is more than a project. It's a response to our existential crisis. It's us owning the challenge, and more importantly, owning our future. Catalyst Canada is the exercise Canada needs, an exercise in coming together in a time of crisis with faith in what Canadians can build together. And that's where you come in. Follow this project, listen, reflect, challenge, and engage. And when the time comes, stand with us. Because this isn't just a conversation, this is action, and it starts now.